So, in about 2 weeks we will get the second phase of version 6.5 with Nefer and Lauma, and the 4 stars being Xingqiu, Carrara, and Jahoda. So in this video we will look at how many Primogems you can actually save during that phase. At first the total may look kind of okay, but a big part of that is just lucky timing, so once we break it down, you will see that phase 2 is actually not giving us that much room. Just to keep this realistic, I am only counting fresh phase 2 resources here, not the maps, quests, achievements, or the offering content that already came in phase 1. Let's start with the most basic source, and that is of course dailies. From daily commissions alone you are looking at 1,260 Primogems during phase 2. That is your most stable source, nothing surprising there, but it also shows the problem very quickly. Dailies alone never carry a phase. They help, but they are not enough to suddenly save a banner by themselves. So right from the start you already know this total is going to depend heavily on resets and events. Then we have one Imaginarium Theater reset, and that gives 1,000 Primogems. This is a huge part of why the total looks so much better than people might expect. Without this, phase 2 would already look way less exciting. On top of that, we also get one Paimon shop reset worth 800, and one Spiral Abyss reset worth another 800. So just from those 3 things together, you are already getting a very big chunk of your phase 2 savings. And this is exactly why I said the total can be a little misleading. Because if you just look at the final number without context, you may think, okay, this is actually not that bad. But the truth is, the number is being carried really hard by the timing. The theater reset, the shop reset, and the abyss reset all happen to fall into the same phase, and that gives phase 2 a much healthier look than it would normally have. If this timing was not lining up so nicely, the result would feel a lot rougher very quickly. Now let's move on to the event side, because that is the other big part of your Primogem income. The main event, where waves meet the reef, should give 970 Primogems. That is obviously the biggest event source in this phase, and the main reason the event side is still doing something for us. Then we also have one smaller event, Rapid Capture, which gives 420. Together that is solid, but again, it is not some crazy number that suddenly changes everything. It helps, but it is not enough to make phase 2 feel rich. Leyline Overflow also happens from May 11th to May 18th, and while that is definitely useful, especially if you want extra resources for Mora and EXP books, it does not give Primogems. So it is nice value, but it does not raise the pull count. Then we have the 6.6 special program livestream, and that should give the usual 3 codes worth 300 Primogems total. On top of that, we usually also get a few extra codes here and they're together worth around 60, and I always post them on my channel because they are very easy to miss, especially if you are not checking every day. So those together are another small but still useful part of the total. Then there are the smaller leftovers like character trials and other tiny sources, and when you add all of that together, it should be around 195 more Primogems. This part is never super exciting, but it still matters because phase totals are usually built from many small pieces. A few hundred here, and there can be the difference between getting one more pull before a banner ends or not. So now let's put the whole thing together. For free-to-play players, the total for phase 2 of version 6.5 should be around 5,805 Primogems, which is about 36 pulls. And honestly, trust me, that is not much. It only looks kind of okay because this specific phase is getting carried by the timing of the resets. If those monthly and cycle-based sources were not landing here, we would be looking at a much more uncomfortable number. And for Welkin players, you can add another 1,890 Primogems on top of that. That brings the total to 7,695 Primogems, or about 48 pulls. That is obviously better, but even that is still not some super relaxed amount where you can just throw wishes around carelessly. Especially not if you are thinking about trying for both Nefer and Lauma, which are great together for obvious reasons, or if you lost something earlier and you are still recovering from that. And that is really the main point of this whole video. The total may look kind of okay at first, but it is still not that much. Just imagine the 1st of May was not inside this phase, because the start of a new month is always worth around 1,800 Primogems by itself. Without that, we would suddenly be looking at only around 4,000 Primogems, and then phase 2 would feel a lot more dry immediately. Now, I know some of you will say, wait, I still have a lot of 6.5 content left. And yes, that is true, and if that is your account situation, then you can add more to your total. If you have not explored the 2 new maps at all yet, then together they can give around 1,755 Primogems, with around 1,355 from the Wind Peaks map north of Mondstadt, and around 400 from the Space of Asmodee map. Then from the other quests you could still get around 350, from achievements around 245, and from the offering system in the new area another 500. So if you still have all of that untouched, then yes, you can add quite a bit more and your situation becomes much better. But again, I do not want to count that into this video because it is not fresh phase 2 income. That content already existed in phase 1. So if you use it now, that is fine, but it also means your phase 1 total was effectively lower. The total for the whole version does not magically increase. You are just moving resources from one half of the patch to the other, depending on when you actually clear the content. And that is why I think the best advice here is honestly just to be careful with your pulls. Because when you hear 36 free-to-play pulls or 48 with Welkin, it may sound acceptable at first, but once you strip away the reset timing and remember that most players already used some earlier resources, it becomes pretty obvious that phase 2 is not giving you much room to mess up. One early 5-star can save you. One lost 50-50 can destroy your plan completely. So if you are aiming for Nefer, Lauma, or even thinking ahead already, I would really not go into phase 2 with the mindset that there is a lot of currency left on the table. There is not. This is one of those phases where discipline matters a lot more than people think. And for anyone who still has exploration left from the phase 1 content, that is great, but just remember that it is not extra version value. It is just delayed value. So yeah, that is how many Primogems you can save in phase 2 of version 6.5 for the Nefer and Lauma banners. Let me know how many pulls you currently have saved, and whether you are going for one of them or trying to risk both. And by the way, we are getting really close to 20,000 subs now, so if you enjoy this kind of Primogem breakdown and want to stay updated on future banner and saving videos, make sure to subscribe. It would really help out a lot. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.